Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? Joe Benny. Got this mic is shaking. It's like me. We haven't had a cocktail in a few hours. We're shaking all over the place. Welcome. Joe Benny's got balls. How you doing? Folks, today's going to be a cool show. We got some cool stuff coming up. And I can't wait to interview this guy. You know, we're in the service industry. So this exactly doesn't follow suit with your typical service industry interview today, but it's still going to be very interesting because in my heart and in my soul, I do believe this is the service industry. You'll see what I mean in a minute, but we're going to bring our guest in 1 second. As always, I'd like to say hi to the glue that keeps the Joe Benny's Got Balls podcast together, my boy TK. What do you say?
What's going on?
Hello, brother. How's it been since we last spoke? Everything good in your life?
It's good. Moving onwards and upwards. Hopefully you're saying the same on your side.
I'm okay, TK. We do like a 5-minute kind of, this is for everyone out there. We do like a 5-minute, how you doing when we get online. And today I gave TK the kind of the truth. I'm a wreck, TK. And I'm going to let our listeners know really quickly because I'm going to ache a little bit. I'm going to twist a little bit. Not only do I do like physical therapy for this fucking thing back here called a back that I have, but I'm also, I'm getting blood work. I'm getting all kinds of stuff. I'm a wreck, guys. I was feeling better when I was at Joe Benny's. Can I just say that just for the record? I might have to go back to work because to take this pain away.
Yeah, stay moving. Keep that blood moving.
Dude, I wish I could. I'd like to go out on days I feel good. I go on walks and shit. I did like 5 miles the other day. I felt great. Last few days, not the case. But whatever. We're here today. I'm sitting down. I feel good. Thanks for doing what you do, TK. I appreciate you a lot, buddy.
Of course. And
let's just bring in our guest today. I was gonna intro our guest introduce our guest rather in a very different way. And if you'll entertain me, TK, I asked you to cue something up for me.
Yeah.
And as I introduce him, our next guest, I'd like for you to cue that up as I introduce him. Is that going to be doable?
I wish we would. We'll get demonetized if we play too much of it, but I'll try to scrub here and find the right part. And
well, it's the first. It's only the first few lines. How about that? Is that going to be
okay? Yeah,
let's scratch it.
If we played it longer than 15 seconds, they'll take us down. So, so let's see here.
Let's try our best. Ladies and gentlemen, for your listening pleasure. I'm sailing away. Okay, that's enough. That's enough, ladies and gentlemen. I can't give this away for free.
Let's not give it too much more than that.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you today's guest on the Joe Benny's Got Balls podcast, Captain Bobby.
Hi!
Hey, welcome.
Ahoy.
My man.
What's
welcome,
up, guys?
Captain Bobby. Welcome. And
well,
Captain
thank you for having me on.
Before we go any further, in your honor, today I'm wearing my sailing shirt. I just
I see that. Nice.
Yes,
you got some great vocals there in that song, man.
Thank you. We're going to save that for another episode, okay? TK, let's pretend I have a set of balls here, and I'm going to ring those balls every time I need you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, let me know. I'm here. I'm always here. Ring the ball.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, TK. Captain Bobby, great to have you, brother.
What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Thank you. Good to see you, bro. Yeah, I'm good. I'm well. So I'm a follower of your. Before we get into it, I'm a follower of your Instagram and your social media presence. I think it's one of the most.
I am also a follower of your Instagram as well, man. That one thing, that 5 minute and 5 minute and 30 some second video you did where you were so real and leaning over the counter when you decided that you had to close shop. That was amazing. That was, I think, the only time people on Instagram watch something for longer than 17 seconds. That was good, man.
I think you're right. Thank you, brother. Well, the reason I bring that up is because I've been following you and I've seen a couple. I know this is your busy season, right?
It is actually. It is. Yeah.
And I heard that you said you were putting in, 70 plus hours a week. And
Yeah.
I was happy to get you because I know you still have some sailing ahead of you in the next, few weeks here. But did I hear right? Before we get into this, I just want to, for the record, you're a big Star Wars fan, I see, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. So in the beginning of the season in May, this was crazy. All right. So look. So quick background. My wife and I own Baltimore's only locally owned and operated private sailing charter. I'm from Baltimore. My wife is from Southern Maryland. We both live in Baltimore City. So we're very, attached to the city. We started, our very first cruise was July 4th of last year. And on June 1st of this year, I quit my 9 to 5 to do this full time, which was, well, let's see if this works. It's stressful. But so last Monday, we were 14 months old yesterday. We were 14 months old on September 4th. And in May of this year, when I noticed a lot of other boat companies in Baltimore weren't getting any bookings, we were booked every single day in May, which is May, September, October for the tourist / boating thing. It's statistically the slowest months. Yeah. But that May, when I saw how well we did, it wasn't slow at all. That's when I chose that I was going to go ahead and, quit my job and see what happens if I do this 100%. But my wife made me promise if I was going to do that, a couple of promises. Wednesday night is always date night, so I can never sail on Wednesday nights. And I've stuck true to that word. And the other thing is Labor Day weekend, she wanted just for her and I to take the sailboat out, have no bookings. So this past weekend, that was our goal. We had no booking. We closed it off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And our goal was to go off sailing. Instead, we stayed home, sat on the couch, played Star Wars Lego on the iPhones, built Star Wars Lego stuff in the living room, and just generally just chilled. And it was the first time since May that I did nothing. I didn't edit a reel, didn't go out on a cruise, didn't call people and make bookings, didn't respond to emails or comments. And it was nice.
Well deserved, brother. Well deserved. That's what I was getting to. So, okay, now that you're talking about reels, I got to ask, brother, who are you? Is it you and Alicia? Do you both do the social media? Who manages that account?
So I do. So Alicia writes blogs on the Facebook, and I do all the videos. So for TikTok, YouTube, and the biggest is Instagram. I mean, 98% of our business comes from Instagram.
Yeah.
We have, I think today we actually just hit 11,000 followers, which is amazing because I didn't really have an Instagram account when we started this business last year. And Alicia, I knew that social media was important to get customers. And Alicia's like, we'll do Instagram. And so I signed up for Instagram. And oh my goodness, man, in March of this year, we had 1,000 followers. And now we have 11,000. So 10,000 followers more in the last few months.
That's great growth, man. That's awesome.
Thanks, man. I mean, it's not me or Alicia or the business. It's really Baltimore. We would never have been as popular. I mean, this year, look, 14 months. We were 14 months old yesterday. Yeah. And we were nominated for Baltimore's best local tourist attraction and Baltimore's best local Instagram account. And that is not, sure, we work hard, but that is not all us. This is a team effort, and the team is Baltimore. The people of Baltimore have been, I mean, you know it from your business. I mean, the lines down the street, people trying to get in to get a pizza on a Friday night. I don't know if we could do this in any other city in the world because I don't know what city welcomes small businesses as much as the city of Baltimore does, as much as the people in the city of Baltimore do.
Definitely special, and I'll add to that. I've had a lot of requests of people trying to get me to reopen in the county. Some person wants me to go to Pennsylvania. Anyway, I'm just entertaining these. But I'll be honest with you, and I haven't told anyone this ever. If I ever do reopen, which I will, I love this stuff, too much to stay quiet too long. But it's got to be in Baltimore because it's just been such a great place for me. And I can see that it's very important to you. Let's back up a little bit. Let's get out of the boating. Let's get out of boating and sailing for just 1 second. Because don't really know much about you, brother, and I'd like to. And so, can you give me some like
Well,
you've been in the
I'm a
boat business, and you
Capricorn.
said-
My favorite color is purple.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
right.
so sorry.
Your best meatballs are Joe Benny's meatballs. No.
My favorite meatballs are Joe's
Give me,
balls.
give me some background, brother. I know we ex-military. Is that did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a weird backstory because I kind of took a while to figure out what I wanted to do. But yeah, I was born here in Baltimore. I was raised in Woodlawn. Used to come down to Baltimore a lot. In middle school, I was arrested a couple of times and expelled from school. Now, was I expelled in middle school or elementary school? I was expelled in middle school. Anyway, the point is this. My mom was dating this guy that happened to have graduated from Mount St. Joseph High School. And because every alumni is allowed, I guess, like a gimme, at some point in their life. And since she was dating this guy, when I did finally get out of middle school, the gimme was let me get this guy into Mount St. Joe. So I went to Mount St. Joe, and it saved my life. I say 3 things saved my life, and that's my mom, Mount St. Joe, and the Army. In Mount St. Joe, even though I graduated, the news article was wrong recently. I think he gave me a 2.1 GPA on News Channel 2, but I actually graduated with a 1.79 GPA. So I do thank
1.79. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I do thank Jamie Costello and News Channel 2 for giving me a couple points, so I didn't seem like a complete idiot. But in the end, when you don't do too good in school, do too well in school, you got a couple of choices. You can, find a good blue collar job. I was a volunteer firefighter at the time, and I did apply to be a city firefighter. Or you join the military. That's what I did. My grandfather was in World War II. I grew up listening to stories and watching black and white, war movies with him. Mm-hmm. And, so I joined the Army, and then that was the backer right there. I had a lot of good leadership in the military that pushed me to go to college. I did get hurt in the Army, and I got medically discharged. But when I got out, the VA was like, listen, we're the ones that hurt you. You want to finish your college. And I couldn't believe it, and I did. I went to Towson University. I'm like, look, this is what I got. What's the quickest degree I can get? And they said political science. And and then I got my bachelor's. And from there, I went on to a program called Troops to Teachers, where I taught in Baltimore City at Walbrook High School in West Baltimore for a couple of years until it closed down. Excuse me. And then once they closed the school down, I needed to find something to do. So I went back to Iraq as a contractor for a while. And that is what gave me the money to buy a boat. When I was in Iraq the last time, I kind of had a close call with something. And, well, the story is, how people, when we were in Iraq and Afghanistan, how people would send you care packages from churches and things like that, like magazines, cookies, whatever it is. Maybe you send meatballs. But in the end of the day, these care packages would come in, and truth be told, where I was stationed, the officers would take out all the good stuff from the packages and leave the crappy stuff for the troops in the field. And I just waited at whatever they didn't want. And it was a magazine called Cruising World, which is, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it is a magazine where people are in sailboats, traveling the world, living their best life on their boats, filled with pictures of, people have sold their homes and now they're just living on a boat, sailing around. And so I was in southern Iraq. I'm smelling the salt air from the Gulf, and, seagulls are flying around. And I'm looking at this magazine. I said to myself, if I get out of here, if I make it back home to Maryland, I am going to buy a boat and live on it. And that is the boat back there. Yeah.
So and then prior to that, you had no boating experience?
Well, I used to fish and crab with my grandpa on the Chesapeake Bay in his little boat. My grandmother used to wake me up at 2:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning and pack me some bologna and mayonnaise sandwiches. And we used to go out with my grandfather and sit in the sun. Oh my man, I hated it. It was so hot. He had no roof. It was a little tiny boat. And we're just sitting there, we would drive down to Solomon's Island to go crabbing, and we wouldn't leave until he had a bushel of crabs. Except there's a couple of times, he was getting kind of hot himself, and so we would We would come back in. We didn't have a bushel of crabs, so he would stop off at Kent Island on the way back and get a bushel of crabs and tell me not to tell my grandmother. And we came home pretending that we caught them.
I like your granddad's style.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So, okay, that's cool, man. I didn't know any of that about you. All right, so another cool thing about you that I've, at watching your social media, I see you do a lot of collaborations, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, which is just so freaking cool, brother. But there was one, I wrote his name down because it was really Jermaine Gibbs.
Jermaine Gibbs. Love that guy.
Yeah, so you did one with Jermaine Gibbs, and it was about it was a hope mission.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I love not only that your boat, you have the sailing charters, it's amazing, but you also find a way to incorporate and to accentuate Baltimore, which I think is so cool. So so your collaborations, you want to try to make Baltimore, sing in a way, right? To other people that don't know much about it. But tell us more about this, dude, because I think every video I see of you, it's either you promoting, Baltimore in a certain way or having someone on and promoting another cause. But you like to do that, right?
I mean, that's, in the beginning, yes. In the beginning, the social media was just because, we're starting a business and social media is important for businesses. And then all these negative comments started coming in.
Yeah.
I had this one video where I said, people don't believe it, but, if you look over there, you see Fort McHenry, you see the city of Baltimore, and look at the sunset. That was our first quote unquote viral video. And then it was met with 99.9% positive, but that 0.1% of, I guess, people that hate their lives or whatever, but they're coming in with negative comments about, there's a body floating or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I started to fight back. Baltimore is a city that is completely underrated. We do have our problems. I want to caveat here saying that I'm not a moron. Yes, we got a crime rate. Our schools can be better. Yes, there's a lot of issues that we need to deal with in Baltimore. But Baltimore is a city with two different stories. And one of the stories is what HBO and the media and all that kind of stuff will portray on the television. But the other story, which is 95% of it or even more, is this small businesses flourishing, people supporting small businesses, neighbors on a random Monday night sitting on the stoop having a drink together, where, you could go to the county sometimes in cul-de-sacs where people have lived together for 25 years and don't even know each other's names. Yeah. Baltimore, there's a reason why the nickname Baltimore Smaltimore comes in here, because we really are a community and we're community driven. Yeah. And I just felt that people are missing that, especially these armchair, judges or keyboard warriors or whatever they call, sitting home who have never been into the city, and they don't know what they're missing out on. Like, I don't want to go to an Applebee's on a Friday night, man. God bless you if that's your thing. Go to Applebee's, have fun.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
Applebee's, yeah, especially if they're going to sponsor you one day. But in the end of the day, the small businesses, the little mom and pop bars and restaurants that literally Alicia and I, my wife Alicia and I, can just open the door, walk less than 30 seconds, and be in a bar on a random Tuesday evening with our neighbors and their kids, which is great. Like, we're all growing up together. We're all a community together. And that is something that people simply miss. They feel like Baltimore is some sort of war zone. But I've been in war, and I will tell you, it is not a war zone.
Far from a war zone. You're right. We get a bad rap, man. I can't tell how many people would come from out of town and they'd want to know where to go. And then you'd have always a few people that would chime in, well, stay away from this. Don't go here. Yeah, we get it. Yeah. But it's hard. Those people, if they weren't going to say something about that, they're going to find something else to talk shit about,
Yeah.
That's how people are wired sometimes.
While we're talking right now, because I'm doing this on my phone, right? And I'm seeing Instagram messages and comments coming up. And somebody just sent a comment right here. That's not Baltimore. I know what it looks like, and you're definitely not in the city. Yeah. Well, guess what, bud?
I'm in the city, motherfucker. No.
I know.
Hey, let's talk business for a while, brother. So I got to be honest, total disclosure here, man. I'm one of those guys, my first boating experience or sailing experience, a friend had a boat. We went out to wherever the hell we went. I can't remember where. And everyone jumped in the water. We were drinking beers and we're having a good time. And then I'm like, all right, let's jump in. And I'm not a germaphobe, but let me tell you, man, that first time I set foot wherever the hell we were, Miller's Island, I don't know.
Oh, Miller's
I
Island,
was like, oh my God, get me the hell out of this place. Where am I? I'm in a different world. Not a big fan of going out on a boat, jumping into murky little waters, obviously. Your sailing operation. I'm hoping you don't do that. Do you? Tell us a little more about your business, man. What services you provide?
So we have 4 cruises a day. Each cruise is 2 hours long. Our schedule changes, pretty much throughout the year, depending on when sunset is. But generally, it starts with a morning cruise and ends with a sunset cruise. People can bring whatever they want to eat or drink on board. Kids 12 and under sail for free. That was the first time that we got national media attention because evidently no one else is doing that. Like not small businesses, But inflation sucks, man. A bag of grapes is $10. Like, I mean, how can a family afford to come out on a sailboat when they're spending $10 for a bag of grapes? So anyway, in the end, we let kids sail for free, and then people can control their music. And what our number 2 question, the most popular question, the first question is, where do you sail to? And the answer is, well, wherever the wind takes us within the 2-hour time frame. And the second question is, do you have a restroom on board? Which is a very serious question. We absolutely do. But that's kind of what we do. So last year, some numbers that are crazy. Last year, like I said, we did our first cruise July 4th last year, and our season ends in October. So it goes April, October. We had 24 cruises last year. This year so far, we just did our 341st cruise, I think. We've had almost 1,000 people on our boat.
Wow.
Yeah, and the max capacity for a boat is 6 passengers. So that says a lot. Like we're really kicking out the cruises.
Hell yeah.
And and it's all about customer service. It's amazing how there are some people that come on the boat. Like once again, most people find us on Instagram, right? So they already have an understanding of who I am and who my wife is and what our business is. And a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people have come on our boat and they've literally just booked a cruise so they can hang out with us.
That's a cool feeling, man.
Yeah, man. It's like the first time somebody did that, I got into my feels. I was teared up because that's just what an honor, right? But with your podcast about service industry, right? I mean, there's lots of services. It's not just restaurants, but it's anything where you 100% depend on customer service and giving a service, an atmosphere, if you will, to go ahead and like get those 5 stars, to get those customers to come back and so on and so forth. And that's like the mantra that we go off of is like customer service is number 1. We got competition here. I mean, there are other sailboats in Baltimore, but if you hit them up on Instagram or you give them a call, they'll say, just go to our website. Everything's on our website. Right. We're talking to people. In fact, after this podcast, there's a guy that booked a cruise from, let me not say it's a surprise. And I don't know how far this is going to go, so I don't want to give. But there's a guy in another state who has booked a cruise. It's his first time to Baltimore, and I'm like, "Well, where are you staying? What are you going to do here?" And he's like, "Well, I don't really know yet." Well, let's work it out together, buddy, because I want you to have a great time in Baltimore. Nice. I'm supposed to give him a call at 5:00 to tell him what is the best beach to go to in Maryland. So I love that. I love that I have the chance. Yeah. To show Baltimore in the light that I see Baltimore in, Right, I love that people are giving us a second chance for them to judge our city. I love that they keep coming back. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just like there's something about it. Like our customers really make us tick, and the amount of support and love that we get is just amazing. It's amazing.
So, a colleague in my field, when I started doing this a few years into it, the restaurant, he said to me, he was a return visitor from out of town, and I kept seeing him. And at one point, I just got into him and I said, "Dude, you come to Baltimore a lot for being an out of towner. You don't even. It wasn't a work trip. It was just purely pleasure." And the guy said something to me that has just stuck with me, and I almost tear up when I hear it. He goes, "We come to Baltimore for you." That's what he said to me. We made it a point at Joe Benny. You can buy meatballs anywhere, right? You can buy pizza anywhere. If a place like yours makes a memorable impression on someone, they're going to come back. They're going to think highly of that city. That's why I think it's so important for the service industry. And when I say service industry, I say it loosely because if we work with customers, we're all in the service industry, right? Yeah, you're in the maritime industry, I'm in the food service, but we all are customer service. We're all ambassadors of the place that we serve these people in. So it's our job to do that.
Exactly.
Right?
That's the word, ambassadors. That is the word I use all the time, 100%. We're ambassadors of Baltimore.
Man. Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't agree with you more on that, brother. Okay, look, we're what are we like 20 minutes into this thing? We've talked about your background, we've talked about the business. I want to get into a little juiciness because in the service industry, I know, don't get nervous, don't fall in the water or anything, all right? But let me see here. I even wrote a couple notes. Okay, like there's got to be some fun passenger stories. There's got to be some, I don't know, maybe someone brought a flask on board. I don't know. I didn't see anything. There's got to be someone that's having maybe a too good of a time on a boat. Maybe they've got into something that you haven't shared too often.
Yeah, so
let me hear it. Give it to me good, Bobby.
So, all right, we've never had a passenger fall off the boat, knock on wood, right? Never had a passenger fall off. Thousands of people, right? There was this, but only one person I thought was going to do that. And I won't mention his or her, well, I would just say it's a he because it's easier to tell the story. I won't mention his name, but the nicest guy in the world. He books a birthday cruise for his wife as a surprise. They bring some friends. And this is a guy that doesn't normally drink, right? He's a good guy, might have 1 or 2 beers a year, right? But this guy was going balls to the wall on our cruise. And after 3 shots of whatever he was drinking, probably rum, he gets up out of the cockpit of the boat and starts to walk back up to the front because most of our people still in the front of the boat. And he did one of these tilts where he went all the way over the side of the boat, but caught himself the last minute, right? I grabbed him by the arm, no, bud, you got to sit down here next to me and put a life vest on. And the rest of the cruise, a whole hour, he had to sit next to the captain with a life vest on so I could supervise him. That was literally my most memorable, funny stories about a person that people say, did you ever have an issue with a customer? And that wasn't even really an issue because the guy was super nice.
Right.
He's like, you're right, Captain Bobby, my bad. I think I just drank too much. We have, out of the thousands of people that we've had on our boat, we've only had one bad review, and I didn't really know how to take it because I'm not used to bad reviews.
Right.
So then I became this weirdo, really, because the guy was from out of state, and I called him, and I'm like, I'm so sorry what can we do better? Can you talk me through this? I honestly don't know how to react to this because I've never had a bad review. Right. And the guy the guy just kind of confused us with another company, which I don't know how that happened. And in the end, he took the review down from Google. But so, I mean, funny stories or deep stories. I mean, the biggest thing probably is just how hard we work, and people don't realize that, And it's so hard to be all happy and chummy. When you're on your 4th cruise of the day. So I'm out, we're at 9 hours on a day out in the sun. 100 degrees, out in the water, and the next customers come, and we're still all chipper, and even though we stink, and that's the other thing too. I love the resilience or the forgiveness of our customers when I say, listen, I think we probably stink right now because we've been on the water all day, but as long as you all stay at the front of the boat, you won't even smell us. But I don't know, it's really cool. I can't really think at the drop of a hat. And I hope that this gets edited because maybe we can come up with a better story than the ones I've given you. But I can't really think of any times that have been funny. Oh, wait, I got one.
Here we go.
I just cleaned it up. So we had these customers. They were so nice, this couple, and they're thinking about buying a sailboat. But they wanted to see what sailing was like before they did. They've never been sailing. Right. So we take them out for their 2-hour cruise and ask a lot of questions. How does the boat work? What's this part of the boat called? What kind of boat would you suggest? On the way back, they said, hey, Captain Bobby, do you think you can dock under sail without the engine? And me, Mr. Cocky, I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I'm Captain Bobby. I got this. Right. So we're coming around here. Actually, this is where we're docked. We're coming around here, and the wind is so light. It's probably under a mile per hour. The wind is so light. So I'm like, this is going to be the easiest docking in the world. And as I made the turn, I still had the sails out. The wind gust at 18 miles per hour out of nowhere. It wasn't even a gradual gust. It was like from 1 to 18. And I couldn't get to the sails in enough time to release them. So I just remember yelling, brace for impact.
Oh, Lord.
And we bounced the side of the boat off the dock. It wasn't hard because I was going slow in the first place, but it was one of those, like, I don't know, like, humbling moments.
Sorry,
with the
that's
customers.
What happens in life, right? We have moments that were not unexpected sometimes.
That's exactly what the customers said. And the next week, they went out and bought a sailboat.
Hey, was that Susie and Reed by chance that were on your boat? No, probably, right?
No, I don't think so.
Friends of mine that are considering getting a sailboat and whatever. But
okay.
Look, I know it's like today's like one of the hottest days of the year, so we're almost half an hour into this. I want to play a quick game with you. I know I didn't tell you anything about this. So I went out and did a little homework, and I want to give you a sailing quiz. What do you think? Are you game, or is that putting you on the spot? You want to bail out?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
I'm gonna just a few questions. I'm gonna gauge Captain Bobby's sailing knowledge. All right?
Oh man, yeah, I'm nervous. I am. All right, let's do it.
Well, now this. Okay, here we go. We'll get right into it. Again, just bullshit. That's all I do in life half the time. Anyway, just bullshit it, right? So, sailing is an Olympic sport, right? I think we can agree on that.
Okay.
One of the oldest Olympic sports. This might be a hard one for you. Do you know when sailing was an official Olympic sport? When it began as an official Olympic sport?
When was sailing an official Olympic sport? I am going to say 1878.
God damn, man, that's so close. 1896. How the hell did you know?
Damn.
That was like the hardest one. I wasn't even going to give it to you. But,
we randomly. So remember I said that Alicia has that Wednesday night is date night. Do you know what she wants to do on date night? She wants to go to trivia.
Trivia.
So that's every Wednesday we do trivia.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. A couple more.
Okay.
Where would you put a baggy wrinkle on your yacht?
Oh crap! I don't know what a baggy wrinkle. Remember, I'm a blue-collar sailor, not a yachter.
I know.
A baggy wrinkle. A baggy wrinkle. I would put it in the head.
On a shroud.
Okay, I have no clue what it is.
No clue.
I'm literally going to Google baggy wrinkle on here.
I thought this was going to be hit or miss. I'm sorry. I'm going to give you one last one. Okay, one last.
Okay,
one.
all right. And
I know you're getting fucking sun cancer over there with this.
No, I'm fine. I'm in the shade. I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, all right. On a sailboat, what is a sheet?
Oh, it's the line that holds the mainsail and the jib or the genoa.
That's exactly right. Right.
Yeah, that's an easy one. You know, it's like like on a boat. What is the boat? Oh, the boat. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, here we go. This one, I think you're going to know this one. Here we go.
Okay.
The left and the right sides of the boat are referred to as what?
Oh, port and starboard.
Port.
Okay, real quick. So I do or sailing lessons, right? Is a good way to remember port and starboard. Port and left have 4 letters. Starboard and right don't. So that's easy. That's the easiest way to remember. Port and left, 4 letters.
I probably will never forget that. Now that you said that. Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna get rid of the test. You know your shit. Who am I kidding here?
All right.
Bobby,
what's up, Captain Alicia?
Is Alicia there? Can we say hi to her?
No, this is another Alicia. This is Captain Alicia.
Hi, Alicia.
Captains. Do you know Joe Benny? Joe Benny, the meatball guy. Yeah, so
yeah, whatever. No one knows me.
I know you, buddy.
How you doing, Alicia?
Harbor.
Yeah. There's a lot of Alicias in this harbor.
Stay nice and hydrated out there, Alicia.
Yeah, she captains a much larger boat called Baltimore Cruises in the harbor. So it's like a big tour boat. They hold about 200 people.
Nice.
You get one thing I've learned about this. I guess I really never really thought about before it became now I'm a commercial boat. I'm a commercial captain. So meeting the other commercial captains, whether on tugboats or on other tour boats or the water taxi or whatever, it is, dude, in 1 year, it is crazy how many of these people I know, how many cell phones I know. and we talk to each other so much on the radio to stay out of each other's way and on the waterway, that now I know them by voice, you know? And that's one person that she walked by once and I heard her voice. I'm like, are you a captain on the Watermark? And she's like, yeah. So that's small world, small Baltimore, you know?
Camaraderie in your field, especially when you're not in it. And then all of a sudden you jump right in like I did. You know, I wasn't in the restaurant business. I was in it the last 10 years here in Baltimore. I was doing other shit before that. But it's such a tight-knit community, and you grow bonds very, very quickly. And that's why I know you, Bobby. I know you because, like you said earlier, brother, there's a lot of people doing what you do, but you stand out. You have a very welcoming personality about yourself. You're very good at what you do. And that's why.
Shucks. Stop it.
I'm serious. Right? Like you said, there's tons of other people, but you're the only one that I know doing what you do. So listen, brother, I know it's hot. It's 98 degrees today, I think I saw earlier. I'm going to let you get out of here, and I want to thank you again. We're probably going to put like this fancy promo or some shit at the end of this to make to put your contact information out there. So
sure,
is that cool with you?
Yeah, that's awesome. And whatever you need, I got a lot of raw video. So if you need video of the boat or whatever, just let me know.
Raw video. You got it, buddy.
Yeah,
I want to thank you again. TK, we got anything to say to Captain Bobby on the way out, brother?
Real quick, I found out what a baggy wrinkle was.
Oh, shit.
All right, let's do it.
A baggy wrinkle, per Wikipedia, is a soft covering for cables to reduce shale chafe.
Oh, I know. That's called a baggy. Okay, I know what it does. I know what it looks like. I never knew that was the name, a baggy wrinkle.
And
so
I know
they
what
aren't.
Is, so that ties
They're not used because, as you can see from the pictures, they're not commonly used much anymore. So the Pride of Baltimore, which is our replica of the Chaucer, our tall ship, it's a clipper ship. If people don't know what the Pride of, if you don't know what the Pride of Baltimore 2 is, Google it. You'll see it's a beautiful boat. They have those, and some other older vessels have those, but that's something we don't really much need anymore.
That's
right. You know what people use now? PVC pipes. They put a PVC pipe over the line, over the standing rigging, and the pipe just rolls. But you know what? They probably didn't have PVC back then. More than likely.
Yeah, fair enough.
And if they try to use clay pipes, that shit probably wouldn't have worked.
God.
Why is all this clay on my deck every morning? Yeah, so all right.
Well, Bobby, I appreciate you coming on. It was really fascinating, your story and what you do for Baltimore. If you guys want to go check them out, here, I'll share your Instagram page here. Pull it up if I can get it to come up.
Wearing the shirt.
So Sail Local on Instagram. And then, of course, your website is boatbaltimore.com. You can go on there and book a cruise.
Thanks.
Go and hang out.
Absolutely.
Bobby.
Well, fellas, thank you so much. I really appreciate everything, man. I cannot wait to eat your balls again, Joe.
One day, brother. One day.
How are you doing it now? Is it like a mail order thing? Do I just mail order your balls to my house?
Yeah, right. That's way too much work, brother. Right now, I'm going through some health stuff. Hopefully, that'll turn around pretty soon. And when it does, I'm coming back, Baltimore. We'll be back. And we'll be better than that. But right now, we're laying low. We're laying low for the time being, brother.
All right, brother. Well, I wish you the best, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Right.
TK, Bobby, we're out of here.
Adios.
Ciao.